Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another week here. The USCRL Xfinity Series race live from Iowa Speedway. Dale Reynolds is in the booth with you once again. How are you guys doing? Hope everybody is doing very, very well. We're dropping in here halfway through qualifying. You can take a look at the sheet right now. Jesse Racimus is currently fastest at a 22:41. And this track is a little bit tough. Iowa is a 7/8 mile speedway, kind of shaped almost like a bigger Richmond, and it drives a lot like a bigger Richmond. The surface is definitely a little bit worn out, so it obviously got multiple lanes that are fast. A lot of drivers either at the very bottom of the track or people up at the very top, but either way, multiple lanes will work, and it should be an interesting race for sure. You can see it on the screen. 125 laps tonight from the Iowa Speedway. Expected fuel trim, you can see right there, it's 18.0 gallons. These cars get filled with. They get filled with the special green gas, that ethanol stuff. So 38 laps of that green ethanol gas is how long these guys are going, but a walk through the garage area is telling me that these right side tires, the way that these teams have these cars oriented, and the way that they have them set up, it beats up the right side tires. A lot of guys really only able to get about 25 to 30 laps per fuel run. Now, obviously, with being 125 laps, look for pit strategy to be a factor, just like it was last week when we had Ron Caranci hold off the stranglehold that was Jeremy Enix and Kevin Kelly Jr., who dominated last week at Indy. But hey, Ron Caranci played the fuel strategy. He played it with one last stop and came away with the big win at Indy last week. So definitely be on the lookout for, if some people be stretching it tonight, if people can get it, if some drivers can get to 30 laps on a fuel run, or at least on a tire run, they may be able to pit one less time. They may not have to come to pit road, that one less time. And hey, it takes about, like as we see about 22, 23 seconds per lap here, plus the time you spend coming down on pit road and getting, coming off the track and going back on the track. You could fall well easily a lap and a half, maybe 2 laps down under green flag. So you get quite a bit of time if you don't have to pit as much as, you can pit one less time, obviously. So looks like the qualifying is up. Jeremy Enix there with a 22:39. He grabs the pole. So Jeremy and that number 51 Stanley Toyota Camry. That thing is a rocket ship this week as well. Congratulations to Jeremy. He's left the server. But congratulations to him. He's the big pole winner tonight for tonight's race at Iowa Speedway. We're just going to flip it over real quick here. We're going to show you the race results from last week. As you can see, here's the results from last week. Ron Caranci again with the big win. He only led he led 18 laps. It was all the last 18 laps that he led. But hey, they're the 18 laps that counted the most. He led that last lap, came away with the big win. Jeremy Enix in second, Kevin Kelly Jr. third, Travis McKinney fourth, and Dwayne Hall round out the top five. Only 6 drivers finished on the lead lap, and we had a number of cars, everyone 11th on down, suffering DNFs. Remember last week at Indy, lots of people wrecking at the 3/4 mark exit of the turns. We still haven't gotten confirmation as to what was causing that. Don't know if it was the aero package that was causing it or whatever the case may be. But we know that a lot of drivers struggled last week coming off the corners and getting real loose and ended up crashing the cars. So Chris Melton did not have a good week at all last week, even in the Xfinity and the Cup race. He wrecked out early both times. He struggled. So be looking for Chris Melton. He's a great driver, and he needs to get, he's got to have something go his way here because with the terrible luck he had last week. Look for him to be the strong contender tonight. As we see here, we're going to go over to your current ASC Xfinity Series standings, American Stock Car Xfinity Series standings, the USCRL standings. Kevin Kelly Jr. is the points leader, and he has he's got over a full race on his next competitor, Ben Britton. Kevin Kelly Jr. with 3 wins, 3 wins in 7 races. He got a pole, and he's finished in the top 5 in every single race so far in this season. And to look, just to make a reference, he's getting it done. Jeremy Enix, who dominated last week, 2 starts, but only with the 1 pole, no wins, and only 1 top 5 finish. The next closest person to Kevin Kelly Jr. is Ben Britton. Obviously, he's second with 3 top 5s. He's 47 points back. Ben Rinaldi third, Frank Simano fourth, and Norman Kraft running at the top 5 here. Ernie D'Alfonso, Steve Deo, Eric Smith, Jerry Hinkle, all in the chase right now. And Dwayne Hall rounding out the top 10 in points. Ron Caranci with the win. Has a chase berth. He's got the win, but we'll see if he can get himself up to the top 10 there and truly lock himself into the chase for the rest of the season. All right, so back on track here. We got happy hour going on. We got 2 minutes and 15 seconds left until the start. We'll hear the command of engines in just a little over 2 minutes. We're going to step away real quick, and we'll be right back to bring you the command for tonight's USCRL Xfinity Series race live from Iowa Speedway. All right, everybody, welcome back. Glad you guys didn't tune away. We got a little over 20 seconds left now until the command to fire engines for tonight's USCRL Xfinity Series race live from Iowa Speedway. Norman Kraft currently right now top of the charts at 22:49. Jesse Racines in second at 22:52. Chris Melton, again, expecting a good thing out of him this week. He had terrible luck last week. He's third fastest. Ernie D'Alfonso, who missed last week's events, he is fourth. Jerry Hinkle, fifth. Frank Simano, who was a Las Vegas winner, he is sixth. Ben Rinaldi, seventh. Ron Caranci in eighth. Kevin Kelly Jr. ninth. John Peterson jumps up to the 10th spot. Top 10 here in happy hour, and the counter is down. Ooh, look at the contact right there between Frank Simano and Jesse Racines as they wrap up final practice here. Let's go down to the command.
Non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
Start your engines.
And the command has been given. The drivers now all set, fired up, ready to go for tonight's USCRL Xfinity Series race. Again, live from Iowa Speedway. Dale Reynolds in the booth. Glad you can join us and join us along for the ride. It's going to be an interesting race for sure. Now, going through the starting lineup. Starting on the pole, Jeremy Enix in the number 51 Aris and Stanley Toyota Camry. Starting second, Jesse Racines in the number 11 2015 American Stock Car Toyota Camry. Norman Kraft starting third in the number 88 Diet Mountain Dew Chevy Camaro. Kevin Kelly Jr. starting fourth in the number 3 Tide Color Guard Chevy Camaro. Dwayne Hall, fifth place, qualifying in number 55 Wrangler Jeans Chevy Camaro. Frankie Simano starting sixth in the number 22 Caterpillar Toyota Camry. Ron Caranci, last week's winner, starting seventh in the number 77 Caranci Great Juice Chevy Camaro. Ernie D'Alfonso starting eighth in the number 10 DuPont Chevy Camaro. Steve Deo starting 9th in a number 14 Bad Boy Buggies Ford Mustang. Rounding out the top 10, Eric Smith in a number 4 KFC Toyota Camry. John Cross starting 11th in a number 36 K&N Chevy Camaro. Jerry Hinkle starting 12th in a number 12 Monster Energy Chevy Camaro. Kevin Ring starting 13th in the USCRL Productions number 37 Ford Mustang. Travis McKinney starting 14th in the 48 DC Solar Chevy Camaro. John Peterson 15th in the number 1 One Main Financial Chevy Camaro. Ben Britton second in points. The number 26 Chili's Toyota Camry. Joe DePino starting 17th in the number 34 Royal Purple Experience Chevy Camaro. Ben Rinaldi 18th on the grid at number 42 Eddie Oaks Chevy Camaro. Chris Melton, tail end of the field, 19th position starting in the number 89 Trump for President Chevy Camaro. Getting ready to go green here. We're able to run through the field for you for a change. So here we are. Pace cars got the field, and now the guys getting ready on their coming to the end of their warm-up lap. Iowa again, 7/8 of a mile speedway, shaped similarly, I would say, to the Richmond International Raceway. However, a little bit bigger, and the groove is much wider. A little bit more banking to Iowa Speedway. Look for cars to be racing all over the place. Jeremy brings him down. The green flag is out. We are underway here at Iowa Speedway. As you can see, Jesse Racines easily took the lead on the outside in the initial lap, but Jeremy Enix takes it right back on the bottom lane. Jesse Racines leads the first lap, but Jeremy will not be denied. Jeremy back out front immediately here, just the second lap of the race. You know that Jeremy and Kevin Kelly Jr. for sure looking to almost, in a certain way, avenge what some would call as their race to win last week at Indianapolis. It's right on with Jeremy. He's hugging that yellow line all the way down through turns 1 and 2. We look out back, and there is Jesse Racines, and Kevin Kelly Jr. is joining the fray. Look at Kelly Jr. using the high lane versus where Jesse and Jeremy are running right now. And right now, tire pressures are still trying to come up. A lot of drivers right now feeling like they're probably on ice, trying to get the tire pressures, especially in the right sides, to build up and build pressure. Usually the rule of thumb is the higher the tire pressures are, the faster the car is, but the worse the car handles, obviously, after 3 or 4 laps. So that's the reason why these teams start these pressures very low. They like to have that low tire pressure starting. So there's a lot of overhead. Once the tire pressure does build up, you see Jesse right on the back bumper of Jeremy going into turn 3. And not only that, with these tires again being an issue, these right side tires, most teams only getting about 25 to 30 laps on a tire run versus the usual about 37, 38 laps on a full tank of fuel. You got to believe that some of these people, some drivers have to be hanging back, trying to maybe conserve some of their stuff. Again, maybe playing that pit strategy, maybe trying to make it on one less stop versus somebody else. As far as your competitors go, Jesse Racines is in second. You see Kevin Kelly Jr. riding about a lane and a half higher than the guys in front of him. He is in third. Dwayne Hall moving up from his fifth starting position. He's up to fourth right now. Ron Caranci started seventh. He is currently running in fifth spot right now. Last week's winner. Norman Kraft, sixth position right now on that number 88. Diet Mountain Dew, number 88. Ernie D'Alfonso. Look at him riding up about 2/3 of the way up the track. He's in seventh. Steve Dale in 8th position. Frankie Samanto, Las Vegas winner, riding in 9th. Travis McKinney is in 10th with that number 48 car. Jerry Hinkle is in 11th. Ben Britton kind of looks like he might be conserving his stuff. Ben Britton is a little bit further back. He's 12th. Eric Smith on board. He is 13th. And look at these guys riding the outside lane right now. Look at the battle behind these guys. See Ben Rinaldi and Joe DePino kind of going at it. Ben Rinaldi takes that 14th spot away from Joe DePino, and John Cross sitting here in 16th, just watching it all unfold. Chris Melton is 17th right now. He's a ways back. I've got to believe he might be trying to save a little bit of something here. You know, starting in the back, obviously maybe not the best position that you want to find yourself in, but at least make it work for you. If you're starting in the back, might as well say, hey, I'm just going to kind of ride around, save my stuff, hopefully be a little bit faster than some of those guys up front who might be burning off some of their tires and maybe able to get some track position back that way. And again, with the fuel strategies going on right now, definitely got to believe some of these guys in the back, Chris Melton, John Cross, John Peterson, Kevin Ring is already showing 2 laps down. We got to go back and look to see what happened to Kevin Ring as we go back up front here. Jeremy Enix is still leading. Jesse Racines in 2nd. Kevin Kelly Jr. in 3rd. Kelly Jr. still riding way up top. He is up by the wall. Ride on board with Kelly Jr. And as we talk about this track shaped much like Richmond, however the groove is much wider. There's much more racing lanes to choose from. Jeremy Enix is leading this race. He is on the bottom. You see Jesse Racines is about a 3/4 to a full lane above where Jeremy is. He's trying to get that place to work. And Kelly Jr., who you're on board with right now, he is riding pretty much at the top lane of the track right now. He's doing, looks like a shallow diamond. He's letting it going in against the top of the white lines, letting it drift up in the center, and then pulling it back down on exit. He's kind of doing like almost like a shallow Darlington. Dwayne Hall is now under fire from Ron Caranci. Dwayne Hall again finished. He finished, I believe, 5th last week, and he started 5th this week. Right on board with Dwayne Hall. Another solid car in practice. Somebody who didn't get a whole lot of tire wear, so we'll have to keep our eye out on Dwayne Hall because he, among some of the very few of the teams in the garage area that was getting 30+ laps on a tire run during practice. So we'll have to keep our eye out for him. You see him check up coming off of turn 2. Looks like Ron Caranci is trying to get underneath him right now. There he goes. Ron Caranci dives it in turn 3 and takes the position. Maybe did a little bit of a slide job there. Ron Caranci put him in the 4th position. Norman Kraft in the number 88. We got a nice little battle here for 7th. Right behind him with Steve Dale and Ernie D'Alfonso. And these guys are battling hard indeed. Ernie D'Alfonso. Ooh, slight contact right there, looks like. Looks like these guys want to get around each other, but they can't find any groove. Oh, Ernie in the wall. Don't know if Ernie got a little loose or something there. We'll have to take a look back and see. Let's take a look back, see what happened here. Oh, yeah, little contact going into turn 3. Ernie trying to do a little slide job. And came up the track and, oh, just tagged the wall. Don't know if he got a little loose there, whatever the case is. Maybe, I don't think he's maybe a little bit happy with Steve Dale right now. I don't know. We'll have to get there, go down there, talk to the crew chief, talk to the crew chief spotter, see what's going on with those 2 cars. Ernie D'Alfonso must have a little bit of damage now. He did contact the right side of the wall. You see it, and there he is, almost in the wall again. He's got some right side door damage to that car. It's going to affect a little bit of the drivability. This is Iowa, so aerodynamics are not like so hypercritical like some other tracks, but still will affect the drivability, especially if you tag the wall and happen to bend something in that front suspension. If you knock the toe out or something, it could definitely affect the handling of that vehicle. Travis McKinney goes around Ernie D'Alfonso for 7th place. Ernie is on pit road, and he locks him up big time. I think he was probably speeding right there. That was that looked like it was a little quick, even without the radar gun. Even without the radar gun. Let's go on board here. Oh yeah, he had him locked up and he couldn't get it to stop. Could not get it to stop. I believe the pit road speed is 45 miles an hour, and he definitely hit the cone a little bit fast for that. So be expecting a drive-through penalty from him. Unfortunate break for him early on in this race. As we tune in back up front, Jeremy Enix is still leading Jesse. Kevin Kelly Jr. still trying to make that outside work. You see Jeremy and Jesse have also moved up the track just a little bit, and it looks like we're getting confirmation that Jeremy is coming into the pits this time. It is lap 23, so again, be expecting some of these fast guys to come in and make pit stops, and there you see it. Jeremy Enix is in the pits along with Jesse. So that is going to give Kevin Kelly Jr. the lead here. It's going to be the second lead change tonight. Kevin Kelly Jr. out front. Ron Caranci second. Dwayne Hall. We're going to come back through the field here and see if there's any other takers on pit road. You can see that Jeremy Enix is on pit road along with Jesse. And it looks like John Peterson is in pit road as well. Ernie D'Alfonso, unfortunately, tough break for him. John Peterson makes his first green flag stop of the night. You see Jesse Racines, slow stop on Jesse because he came in right behind Jeremy. I believe Jeremy took 2 tires on that pit road exchange. Let's kind of take a look back here and see what the crew did. See the right side's up, track is chopped. Yep, there it is. 2 tires on Jeremy Enix here. Strategy on the early part of this race. Very early on the part of this race. You can see Ron Caranci has now inherited the lead. Kevin Kelly Jr. has come down to pit road. And there he is. Kevin Kelly Jr. makes his first stop of the night. Jeremy Enix is in 11th. Jesse is being shown in 12th. Steve Deo, Dwayne Hall, Ernie D'Alfonso. These guys have all pit. Norman Kraft, Aaron Smith, all in for pit service here in the early going of this race here at Iowa Speedway. Ben Britton on his way into pit road. Frankie Simano is another one of those drivers who was able to keep his car on the track for a long time. Look at the gaggle of cars merging on the backstretch. Oh man, caution is out. Sorry about the technical difficulties right there, guys. Travis McKinney, looks like Travis McKinney looks like he spun out. Oh no. See if we can get a rewind here. Sorry about the technical difficulties right there, guys. Unfortunate break. Travis McKinney, you see him spin out here in turn 2. Let's take a look back and see what happened. And Jeremy Enix is right there too. Take a look going down the front straightaway and going off into turn 1. He is low, 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 loose. Oh, nosed into the wall. What a hard hit for Travis. Head on into the wall. That's a scary impact right there, guys. That is not ever a good thing. You don't ever want to see that. Did he get a little bit of help, though? No, he never touched him. Jeremy never touched him. Take a look at it once again here. We'll do it in slow-mo. Here's Travis going through. He was on the bottom. He tried to keep it on the bottom. Looks like he's getting a little loose right there. Now, Jeremy obviously being tucked up on his bumper probably didn't help, but Jeremy did not touch him. He gets loose. He tries to correct it. The car bites to the right and straight into the wall. Travis McKinney, what a tough break for him. Unfortunate break for him. It looks like he's able to get the car rolling, so it looks like everything is okay on his part. But actually looks like, I'm sorry, he is in the garage. He has parked it. He's got suspension issues. He is done for the night. Unfortunate break for him. And unfortunate break for some of these guys who have come in and made their green flag stops. Ben Rinaldi is in the lead. Chris Melton in second. Joe DePino, Jerry Hinkle, and Frankie Simano in fifth. All of these guys have not pit under the green quite yet. John Cross, there's Ron Caranci and Jeremy and Jesse and Kelly Jr. Kelly Jr. stays out on the track. Kelly Jr. stays out on the track. And it looks like a lot of these guys here that stayed out made it a little bit longer than some of these other front runners that may have been pushing their stuff a little bit too hard too early. These guys got a lucky break with a caution right there, and now these guys should cycle up to the front and ahead of these guys that have made their green flag stops. You see Chris Melton exiting pit road, being scored in second spot right now. Excuse me. Jerry Hinkle leading this race right now. Kevin Kelly Jr. is on the tail end of the lead lap, looking to hopefully get a wave around here. That's, I gotta believe, since he was just on pit road, that's probably what he's looking for. Jerry Hinkle peels off pit road in that number 12 Monster Energy Chevy. So if everything cycles through, Chris Melton will inherit the lead. Frankie Samato second, Ben Rinaldi third. A couple of new players that we haven't seen from yet in this race. John Cross, to be scheduled. There he is as he crosses, passes Jerry Hinkle, who's on pit road. He's in fourth. Joe DePino in fifth spot. And then your two leaders, Jeremy Enix and Jesse Racimas, sixth and seventh right now. Ron Caranci sitting eighth. Jerry Hinkle, Kevin Kelly Jr., Steve Deo, Dwayne Hall 12th, Ernie D'Alfonso 13, Norman Kraft, Ben Britton, John Peterson, Eric Smith, Kevin Ring, who is being shown 2 laps down, but is still running an 18th spot. Travis McKinney with the unfortunate break, the unfortunate wreck that has taken him out early on in this race at Iowa Speedway. Guys, give us one moment and we will be right back to bring you the restart of this tonight's USCRL Xfinity Series race live from Iowa Speedway. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Down cars moving up the inside.
All right, everybody, welcome back to tonight's USCRL Xfinity Series race live from Iowa Speedway. Dale Reynolds in the booth. Again, we want to extend our deepest apologies for the start of this event. Apparently, we're getting a number of complaints talking about the screen for the point standings did not disappear for about the first 25 to 30 laps, unfortunately, so we apologize about that. But we're back and everything's fixed up and we're ready to roll. Glad that you guys are a part of us, are part of the stream tonight. Getting ready to restart this race. Frankie Samato starting on the inside lane with Ben Rinaldi in second. New players up at the front here with this caution in between pit cycles. The green flag is out. We're back underway here at Iowa Speedway. Frankie Samato holds on to the lead, and you can see Joe DePino. Look at Joe DePino. He's made a couple of quick moves here on this restart, but don't look back now. Jesse Racimas is up to third after restarting in the 7th position. Look at this, guys, and we got some good racing out in the back here right now. Frankie Samano's got the lead. Joe DePino second. Jesse Racimus wants that second spot from Joe DePino. And look at Jeremy Enix here. Again, taking 2 tires on that last green flag set of stops. Looks like he came in once again. But look at the fast guys trying to pull their way back through the traffic and get themselves back up into the lead here as you see this nice ground shot coming off of turn 4 of a little gopher cam. Look at the racing here as Jesse Racimus goes inside of Frankie Samato looking for the lead here. And it looks like he's going to be able, can he clear him? No, he cannot clear him. Look at Jeremy on the bottom of Joe DePino. Look at the racing going on right now. Up front, Jesse Racimus regains the lead. Frankie loses the lead. Jeremy moves up to third. Got about 5 cars in this lead pack, and then we've got the rest of the pack in one big gaggle. Kevin Kelly Jr. leading the charge right there. He is in 6th. Chris Melton moving up back to 7th. Dwayne Hall in 8th. Excuse me, 7th, 8th, 9th. All the positions are being jumbled right now. Look at at the racing that these guys are doing right now. Again, multiple lanes here at Iowa Speedway. No need to worry about laying rubber down because everybody's got a different groove. There's about 19 cars out here, and I bet you there's about 15 different lanes that everybody's running right now. So you see Steve Deo in 8th. He is outside of Dwayne Hall. Can he get the good run off of turn 4? He's not going to be able to clear him, unfortunately. There's Dwayne Hall pulled up in front of him. And Ernie D'Alfonso is right behind Steve Deo. He is in 10th. He's going for 9th. We got a wreck in front. Kevin Kelly Jr., the points leader, in trouble. We can scroll through here fast enough. Kevin Kelly Jr. in trouble early. Look at the damage on the nose and on the side of that number 3 tied Chevy the Chevy Camaro, excuse me. Let's rewind and see what we can see here. He's going down the front straightaway. He's running all by himself using the inside lane, and he nicks the apron, de-wedges the car. Oh, and nowhere for Steve Deo, Ernie D'Alfonso to go. What a tough break, especially out of Kevin Kelly Jr., who has been dominant in this USCRL Xfinity Series racing this year. And honestly, a little bit of an odd wreck because you almost never see him make that kind of mistake. Take a look and replay it once again. There he is going down into turn 1. You see right there, he's on the flat. The left side tire is on the flat. What happens there is that the right side tire is still on the banking. The car de-wedges itself. It's something that Harvick has made famous using at Phoenix. When it de-wedges the car, makes the car severely loose, and there he goes, spinning around in front of the hungry pack that was right behind him. Unfortunate break for Steve Deo and Ernie D'Alfonso. Nowhere to go. He just slid up the track in front of him. Unfortunate break for both of them. Wow. Now if we can rewind, let's take a look and see what Steve Deo saw. Steve Deo unfortunately wrapped up in this wreck as well. Scroll through here. There is Steve Deo. Steve's on board Steve Deo here. He's going down at turn 1 right behind Dwayne Hall. Going up to the outside. And there you see the smoke. Checking up. Can't check up enough and runs right into him. Unfortunate break for both drivers. Unfortunate. Now as we go back live here, green flag stops happening once again. Take a look at this. All the lead lap cars are on pit road. Nobody risking anything here. Jeremy looks like he'll be the first one off of pit road. Frankie Samato 2nd. Joe DePino 3rd off of pit road. Jesse 4th. Dwayne Hall 5th. Rinaldi, Hinkle, Kraft, Ron Caranci, Ben Britton, Ernie D'Alfonso, Eric Smith, John Cross, Kevin Kelly Jr. on pit road, obviously for extended repairs. Looks like the crew has put a lot. They've bashed out the fenders pretty good. It looks pretty straight here on the camera, but there was a lot of damage on that number 3 car. I'm hoping maybe that if that car doesn't have some kind of suspension damage, you know, internally, to see how well it's going to drive. You can see Junior wiggling the car right now, seeing how it's going to handle. You can see, even though you're not up to speed, drivers will do that. They'll swing the car left and right quick to see if there's any issues with the suspension at all. With a hard hit like that, and Steve Deo as well, he is on pit road. He's now leaving pit road. Let's see. The crew looks like they've banged out the body in that one a little bit too. It looks straight from our camera, but again, with a big solid hit like that, wouldn't be surprised if there was some kind of internal suspension damage that makes that car drive not very good. So, and again, unfortunate break for both Steve Deo and Kevin Kelly Jr. You see Kevin Kelly Jr. back on pit road, probably to make more repairs. Probably didn't feel something right in the suspension, said, hey, we gotta come back in, try to fix this so that we can get it, at least maintain minimum speed. Ernie D'Alfonso as well, unfortunately. Also, look at the right front damage on there. That right front corner of that Camaro is completely bent in. He was right underneath Kevin Kelly Jr.'s nose when he hit the wall and made contact with Steve Deo. So another unfortunate break for him. Surprised he didn't come in and get that damage fixed. Apparently, the spotter told him that it wasn't rubbing on a tire, or it may have, it may just be cosmetic, apparently from what he's feeling behind the wheel. Probably decided that it wasn't bad enough to come in and lose the track position, try to repair. So Ernie D'Alfonso currently sitting in 10th right now with a damaged front end. You see Ben Rinaldi here is on the bottom of the track. I don't know if he's getting ready to come into pit. Yes, he is. There he goes. He's making his way onto pit lane.
Lap down cars moving up the inside.
And there's the one to go. You see a couple other takers here behind Ben Rinaldi. You got Chris Melton, Steve Deo, and Kevin Kelly Jr. coming in for his third stop again tonight, or at least under this caution period. So let's re-rack them for you. Jeremy Enix is in front right now. He will restart with the pole, or not the pole, but he will restart first. Frankie Samato, Joe DePino third, Jesse Seamus is in fourth, Dwayne Hall fifth, Jerry Hinkle sixth, Norman Kraft seventh, Ben Britton eighth, Ernie D'Alfonso starting up in 9th, Eric Smith 10th, John Cross 11th, Ben Rinaldi, Kevin Kelly Jr., Chris Melton, Steve Deo, Ron Caranci is on pit road for an extended period of time. John Peterson showing a lap down, Kevin Ring a couple laps down. Here we go for the restart.
Green, green, green. Let's be patient.
The green flag is back out, and we're back underway here at Iowa Speedway. Got some awesome racing once again in the middle of the pack. Jeremy Enix clears himself easily. Jeremy and Jesse find themselves up front, 1 and 2 again. This time rolls the same positions that they were before. The last of a couple cautions right there. Frankie Samato is holding third down. Dwayne Hall with a pretty aggressive move underneath Joe DePino. He's going to take fourth position away on the inside lane. Joe DePino riding on board with these cars is in 5th, but don't look bad because Ben Britton in 6th. And remember, Ben Britton had a bad week last week at Indianapolis, suffering a random, unfortunate internet disconnect, which relegated him to a poor finish and lost a lot of points on Kevin Kelly Jr. He's looking for a rebound. Actually, wait a minute. Look at Kevin Kelly Jr. here is making a move to the inside of Ben Britton. He is up to 6th. And look at this battle here. Joe DePino, Dwayne Hall. Look at the gaggle of these cars right here fighting for about the 4th position. And again with Iowa Speedway, again, it's not the widest of tracks, but the racing groove itself is very wide. Joe DePino takes that 4th position back from Dwayne Hall. Now he's looking underneath of Frankie Samato for that 3rd spot. And you can see Kevin Kelly Jr., even with the crash damage, looks like his car is still driving pretty decently. He's in 6th right now. He's going after Dwayne Hall for that 5th position. see Ben Britton in that 26 car. He's way up the track. He's utilizing that outside groove. Contact between Joe DePino and Dwayne Hall. Dwayne Hall up the track. Little bit of Rubbins racing right there, man. And this gaggle of cars right here, it's about 7 or 8 cars here. You see that the leaders have checked out from this group right now. Those leaders have it made because they're sitting there. Look at this battle here. Almost 3 wide going into turn 1. Frankie Simano slides up. Kevin Kelly Jr. to the outside. Joe DePino inside. Got some great racing going on through the pack here. You see that Norman Kraft, Ernie D'Alfonso, and Ben Rinaldi, Jerry Hinkle, these guys are probably saying, hey, guys are a little bit excited up here. Probably might just think about riding around. And Frankie Simano got a boot from Ben Britton. Oh, there's a wreck. Frankie Simano's around. And Ernie D'Alfonso, again, nowhere to go. That was some crazy racing that they had going on there in that pit and that little pack that they had going on. Looks like Frankie Simano got turned around. Let's take a look and see what happened here. You see it a little bit right there. But I believe this started going down the front stretch. You see, there is Frankie. He's going to get, oh, he gets tapped from Ben Britton. He tries to hold on to it, but he's a little loose, and you know what happens there is that he got a bump, got sent into the corner a little bit faster than he wanted, so he was hard on the brakes trying to get it wound up, trying not to hit Joe DePino, and it caused a stack up behind him. He unfortunately would get another nudge, looks like from Ernie D'Alfonso. Ernie D'Alfonso again with another tough break involved in another little skirmish here on the racetrack. You see right here, we're going to try and slow it down here. Don't think Dwayne Hall's the one that gets to him. He gets close, but he doesn't touch him. And there's Ernie right there. Ernie is the guy who unfortunately made contact with Frankie Simano and set him around. Unfortunate break. And look at these guys try to dodge the cars behind, you know, try to dodge Ernie and Frankie there. Unfortunate break for both drivers. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. But that whole instance got started when Ben Britton, incidentally, I would like to assume it was incidental contact between him and Frankie Simano going down into turn 1. Unfortunate break. They all got started just because maybe Ben Britton wasn't expecting Frankie to check up as much as he did. Set him off in the corner a little deeper than he wanted to, and that's what started this whole chain of events. You see most of the leaders now on pit road once again. Here it is, lap 60. And again, this is about, and this caution's going to help, especially with the pit strategies here, because again, guys are getting about 25 to 30 laps on a set of right side tires. So this lap 60 right here is kind of in the window right there for some of those who are trying to go about 30 laps to, you know, on a set of tires. Look at Jeremy. He pulls out there in front of Norman Kraft. He will be the first off pit road. Norman Kraft second. Steve Dale third off pit road. Jesse fourth. Kevin Kelly Jr. fifth. Ben Britton, Joe DePino, Dwayne Hall, Jerry Hinkle, Ben Rinaldi, Eric Smith, John Cross, Ernie D'Alfonso. Again, I bet you that crew probably fixed that car up now that he was involved in that third instance, and it looks like they did bend that bodywork a little bit. Pulled out the hammers and the straight edges and got it as straight as they could here on pit road. John Peterson, 17th. Kevin Ring is 1 lap down. He is in 18th. And Travis McKinney, unfortunately, with the early wreck, 19th. Frankie Simano involved in the last caution, electing not to pit. Electing not to pit here. We'll have to see if he's going to come in on the 1 to go. You got to believe that, you know, those tires, he spun out with those tires, may have flat spotted them. Got him nice and hot. Don't know if he's going to have the grip to some of these other guys here, especially with Jeremy, who is the first car who pit right behind him. Don't know how that's going to fare. We'll see if he comes into pit road here. Also got a little bit of left rear damage as well from the contact. Looks like Frankie is going to come into pit. You see that the left rear is bent in a little bit, but it doesn't look like there's much other damage there. Could have been a lot worse for Frankie, for sure, and Ernie both. Could have been a lot worse for those cars. They could have been really, really torn up. So we'll reset this. Excuse me. We will reset the stage for you. Jeremy back out front, electing to take the high side this time around. Norman Crafts in second on the inside lane. Jesse in third. Steve Dale fourth. Ben Britton in fifth. That's going to be your top 5 on this restart. Kevin Kelly Jr. listed in 6th. Dwayne Hall 7th. Joe DePino 8th. Jerry Hinkle 9th. Eric Smith 10th. That rounds out your top 10. Ernie D'Alfonso 11th. John Cross 12th. Ben Rinaldi just coming out of pit road, stopping on the 1 to go. 13th. Frankie Simano again, stopping on the 1 to go. 14th. Chris Melton 15th. Ron Caranci 16th. John Peterson 17th. Kevin Ring lined up in 18th. As we get ready. Green flag is out, and we're back underway, and we've got a little bit of a hesitation on a Norman Craft here. 3 wide going into turn 1. Oh, and Steve Deo's around in front of the field. Oh, and Kevin Ring. Oh, man. Kevin Ring is on fire. Craziness on a restart. Steve Deo goes around and collects Kevin Ring. Steve Deo looks like he has dropped out of the race. Kevin Ring's engine on fire. Cautions breed cautions, that is for sure. We're going to go back here and take a look at this replay. Let's see if we can see if there was anything going on here. Here is the initial start of the race. Or the initial restart. Here's Steve Dale behind Norman Craft. And you see Norman Craft looks like he just didn't get going there, so Steve Dale goes to the inside. Don't know if that move was entirely legal, but we'll have to double check. And oh, looks like it happened again. Oh, Kevin Kelly Jr. bumped by Joe DePino in that instance, and Kevin Ring almost full bore. Probably couldn't stop in time. Collects Steve Dale. Just like what happened with Kelly Jr., you clip that apron, de-wedge the car, and around he goes. And Kevin Ring absolutely annihilates the driver's side door. We hope Steve Dale is okay after that one. That was a very, very hard hit on the driver's side door. We can change cameras here and go. Kevin Ring. Here's Kevin Ring's on board for the restart of the race. You see, he didn't get up to speed entirely too well either here. Probably perhaps just trying to lay back, take it easy. And there we go, around turn 1. You see the smoke up ahead, and you see oh man. That number 37 USCRL Productions car got absolutely annihilated. You see the engine is on fire. The engine entirely done. He's trying to get it back rolling, but the engine just will not fire. The engine's on fire. Unfortunate break for him. What a not a good restart there. I believe that entire chain of events started on that restart. Norman Craft just did not get up to speed. He couldn't get going for whatever reason. Now we're going to go up here to Kevin Kelly Jr., who's right behind Steve Dale on this initial start. See Steve Dale, oh, he's checking up. He did get a little bit of a bump from Joe DePino there behind him. We catch up with Joe DePino here. We'll grind it for you guys. Last view here of this wreck. Here's Joe DePino right behind Kevin Kelly Jr. Steve Dale clips the apron. He just couldn't check up in time. He runs into the back of Jr. just a little bit. Don't know if that's enough to give him some damage on the front end of that car. Front end looks clean. He's got a little right front damage, obviously from racing with Dwayne Hall there on the last green flag run, but looks like the front bumper for the most part is intact. But still a very, very close call for a lot of these drivers. As we kick it back live here, a lot of guys again choosing to pit. Looks like Jeremy, Joe DePino. Norman Craft right now is in the lead. I believe he is elected to stay out. Frankie Simano is in second. Frankie Simano is no longer in second. He is electing to come to pit road. Dwayne Hall inherits the second spot. Jeremy Enix in third. Joe DePino listed in fourth. Jesse Racimus is in fifth. Ben Britton sixth. Frankie Simano in pit road. He's currently listed seventh. It will be towards the back of the pack by the time he comes out. Eric Smith quietly riding around right there in that number 4 KFC Toyota Camry. He's avoided things thus far. I don't want to put a hex on him, but he's quietly just been hanging in there right now. He is listed in seventh. John Cross again, another guy who needs a decent run. He needs a good run tonight. He is currently sitting in eighth right now. Ernie D'Alfonso showing in ninth. Kevin Kelly Jr. That car is all beat up. Look at the car. Look at, it's got damage on every corner. It almost looks like that car is raced at Martinsville. Look at the rear bumpers all pushed in. The right rear quarter is pushed in. The right side door again is damaged. That left front quarter is damaged. That's definitely got to affect the drivability of that car. He's listed in 10th. Jerry Hinkle in 11th. He's doing around here. As we get the one to go, let's go back racing here at Iowa Speedway. Jerry Hinkle in 11th. Ben Rinaldi 12th. Frankie Simano 13th. John Peterson 14th. Chris Melton 15th. Ron Caranci 16th. Steve Dale, unfortunately, out of the race in 17th. Kevin Ring, again, 18th position, right next to Travis McKinney, who evolved in that early wreck. He is listed 19th. So, Norman Kraft and Dwayne Hall, the two drivers that have stayed out under this caution period. Norman Kraft, hopefully he might get a little bit of a better restart this time than last time. He didn't get up to speed last time, it looks like. I don't know if he spun the tires or maybe missed a gear. He just did not get going. We're going to reset it for you here. We're getting ready to go back under green here at Iowa. And the green flag is out. We're back underway. Dwayne Hall immediately grabbed the lead from Norman Kraft with the help of Jeremy Enix pushing him down into turn one. He takes the lead, but not for long. Here comes Jeremy once again, looking for the lead on the inside of Dwayne Hall, exiting turn two, going now down into turn three. Jeremy's got the nose. Will Dwayne get the run on the outside to hold him off? Here they go, back down in turn one. It looks like Jeremy has got him clear this time. Jeremy Enix back to the lead here at Iowa. Dwayne Hall losing that lead. He is down to second spot, right up on Jeremy's back bumper, saying, hey, I'm still here, man, and I'm railing the race. Jesse Racimus is up to third. Joe DePino in fourth. Another driver who needs a great run. Joe DePino having a great run tonight so far. Almost involved in a couple of those big wrecks, but he's avoided them for the most part. He is in third right now. Jesse Racimus, who has been another one of those dominating cars on the one long green flag run that we had. He and Jeremy were some of the fastest cars, along with Kevin Kelly Jr. Those two cars were definitely, those three cars were some of the fastest. Norman Kraft, who restarted, he did not pit on that last green flag stop. He is falling back to fifth. He's got a little bit of a cushion between him and the fourth place Jesse right in front of him, but don't look back. Ernie D'Alfonso, who has been in almost he's been in almost every wreck tonight. There he is in sixth spot. The front end of that DuPont number 10 Chevy Camaro is all mashed in, but he is making it work right now. He's still in sixth. He's got right side door damage. The whole nose of that car is all beat in. Another car that looks like it's been done raced at Martinsville. He is currently in sixth right now. Ben Britton in seventh. He's under fire from Jerry Hinkle. Jerry Hinkle thinks better of it. Nope, maybe not. Ben Britton using the high side of the track. There's Jerry on the bottom. He's trying to get the bite, not going to make it work. Now Jerry Heath is under fire from Eric Smith. Eric Smith drives it in here in turn 3, and the contact made there a little bit. Jerry Hinkle up in the wall and makes slight contact with Eric Smith. And that's going to open the door for Ben Rinaldi here. He's going to move up a spot, try to get around Jerry Hinkle here for the 9th position. If he can try and clear him barely off of turn 2, barely gets the job done. See Jerry Hinkle in 10th. We're right on board with Jerry Hinkle at number 12, Monster Energy Chevy Camaro. There's Kevin Kelly Jr. in 11th. He's on the inside. John Cross makes contact with the wall. He is in 12th, and he is just on the outside looking in. Kevin Kelly Jr.'s car definitely not where it was earlier on in this race with all the damage that he took, the hard shot that he took from Steve Dale when he spun out. Car's definitely not as fast as it was. Chris Melton in 13th. Ron Caranci is in 14th. Frankie Simano 15th. John Peterson in 16th. The last running cars there on the grid. We got somebody spinning. Jesse Racimas is spun out. Looks like he spun out on the entrance, kind of in the entrance to pit road. No caution. He is off the track. And he's sitting there getting it refired. He finally gets it refired and gets it underway. Just as we were going back to the front to see what was going on. Let's see what happens here with Jesse, another one of the front runners. He's on the inside of Joe DePino going into turn 3. And once again, these guys clipped that apron, and the apron sent him right around. Unfortunately for him, he does not get the benefit of a caution since he was off the track. USCRL officials deemed he was not a hazard, so the caution did not fly for him. Tough break, a self-spin by Jesse. Another car that was very good here. There's still, I believe he didn't hit anything. He should still be just as fast as he would. He's probably got to stop and take 4 tires. He might have flat spotted those rears or at least the fronts. Look at Norman Kraft have to make a big evasive move and tags the wall exiting turn 4, trying to avoid him. We'll get here with Norman Kraft here just 1 second here. There he is. You can see he sees Jesse spinning. A lot of smoke, can't see, and had to make a late avoidance move. He ran himself into the wall. He's got some right side damage now. Better hope that those tires, again, are not rubbing. That sheet metal, hopefully not rubbing on that vehicle. Jeremy Enix now in the lead. Joe DePino, who has inherited that 2nd spot. He is in 2nd and trying not to let Jeremy get away. Joe DePino riding in 2nd. Ernie D'Alfonso, again, been almost in every wreck so far in this race. That car is beat up. 3rd place right now. He is running in 3rd. He is getting it done for sure. Norman Kraft is in 4th. Ben Britton 5th. Ben Rinaldi in 6th. Dwayne Hall 7th. Jerry Hinkle in 8th. Eric Smith in 9th. Chris Melton has moved his way up to the top 10 in 10th. Ron Caranci is in 11th. John Cross a little bit in the wall right there. He is 13th. Kevin Kelly Jr. just took 12th from him. Frankie Simano 14th. John Peterson 15th. And Jesse Racimas, unfortunate break with the self-spin, is currently 16th on the grid, the last vehicle running. Guys, give us 1 minute. We're going to step away quick for the final break of this race, and when we come back, we're going to bring you the finish of this USCRL Xfinity Series race live from Iowa Speedway. It's been kind of a crazy one so far. Don't go away. We will be right back. All right, welcome back to tonight's USCRL Xfinity Series race from Iowa Speedway. Dale Reynolds in the booth here. Took our final break of the race, and you see during the break, Joe DePino grabbed the lead for just a minute from Jeremy. Unfortunately, had to pit the next time around. Joe DePino, green flag stops happening with about 32 laps left, which is just outside the predicted window of how far these guys can go on right-hand side tires. Again, the fuel window is about 38 laps, but as you can see, again, a lot of teams only getting about 25 to 30 laps on the set of right side tires. Ben Britton is now in the lead. It looks as though, we take a look at Kevin Kelly Jr., he's coming in on the pit road. Jesse Racimus, Eric Smith, John Peterson, Ernie D'Alfonso, all of these guys have made their green flag stop, hopefully what should be their final green flag stop of the race. Joe DePino listed in 12th right now. Norman Kraft in 11th. He is a little bit under fire from Frankie Simano. Frankie Samato again staying out. There's Kevin Kelly Jr. John Cross looks like he's getting crossed up in pit road. He spins it coming on to pit road. Tough break for John Cross there. He spins it coming into pit road, trying to get it woed down to the 45-mile-an-hour pit speed. You see Ben Britton on pit road. Jeremy is still out there. Ben Rinaldi's around on pit road and collects Jerry Hinkle. Pit road entry is claiming some cars this time around. Lots of possibly aggressiveness trying to get into pit road, to try and not lose so much time. The more efficiently you can come in onto pit road, the less time you lose. And it looks like Ben Rinaldi got spun out here going into pit road. See if we can rewind here. It looks like he and Dwayne Hall, he's all crossed up already in the inside wall and trying to back up, and Jerry Hinkle hits him in the driver's door. We'll go on board here real quick. There he is. Looks like he's trying to come on to pit road. Looks like he makes a late call to pit road, but he gets it loose. Comes down across the nose of Dwayne Hall, hits the inside wall, and there's Jerry Hinkle with nowhere to go. He hits Ben Rinaldi in the driver's side door. Unfortunate break for those guys trying to make their final green flag stop of the race. Ben Rinaldi. What a bad break for Rinaldi. You see Ron Caranci coming out of pit road. Dwayne Hall in 11th. Ben Britton. Jesse Racimus has made his final green flag stop. He has passed Norman Kraft. He is in 7th right now. You saw Frankie Simano is on pit road as the leader. Kevin Kelly Jr. in 2nd right now. Don't know if he's already trying to make his stop or if he's just trying to get out to the lead. But you see that car is all beat up, but he's currently listed in 2nd. Frankie Simano hits pit road right there. He's in his box. Kevin Kelly Jr., when he comes around, he is going to inherit the lead. There it is. Kevin Kelly Jr. inherits the lead. And you see Joe DePino in 2nd right now. And you got to believe Joe DePino's already made his green flag stop. He has got to be trying to not use up his stuff, but at the same time, he's got to get around Kevin Kelly Jr. If Kevin Kelly Jr. can go the rest of the way here without stopping one more time, that is somebody that he's racing. So you got to believe Joe DePino is in a little bit of a predicament right now. Ernie D'Alfonso right behind him, and so is Jesse. Jesse with the unfortunate self-spin. He's back up to 4th right now. What a good recovery, even though he caught a bad break when a caution did not come out. He was too far off the track, and he's going after Ernie here. Ernie tags the wall a little bit on the outside of the exit of 2, and Jesse Racimus is going underneath. As we talk about that, here's the battle for the lead. Joe DePino to the inside of Kevin Kelly Jr. He's going to clear him coming off of turn 4. Joe DePino up front here at Iowa Speedway with just 20 laps to go. And remember, Joe DePino has made his final stop. He came in as soon as the window opened with about 32 laps to go. Can Joe DePino make it on that last stop without having any tire issues? Kevin Kelly Jr. again also on pit road as soon as that window opened. He was a couple laps after Joe DePino. That car is severely damaged, and I doubt it's driving right. You can see him coming off of turn 2. Jesse Racimus is on the inside, and Jesse Racimus is going to try to get around Kevin Kelly Jr. here for second spot. He's not quite clear down the front straightaway. There he goes. Jesse Racimus clears Kevin Kelly Jr. and now takes second, and now has to drive the wheels off of it. Joe DePino is about 8/10, almost 9/10 of a second in front of him. He's got to get going. You can see Ernie D'Alfonso now racing Kevin Kelly Jr. for the third spot. Those two cars heavily damaged, but they're sitting there running third and fourth. What a great drive by these guys. Ernie D'Alfonso clears Kevin Kelly Jr. off of turn 2, and he takes the third spot. Ben Britton in 5th right now. He is a little about 4 seconds back from the leaders. He and Dwayne Hall 5th and 6th right now. You see on board with Dwayne Hall as he tries to catch BB. We call him BB around here. He is in 5th, trying to catch him for that top 5. And as you can see here, we keep going through the field. Chris Melton on board in 7th right now. Ron Caranci in 8th. Jeremy shuffled back in the pack with the pit stop strategy. He is in 9th. You've got to believe he is going to be coming through the field like a bat out of you-know-where. Norman Kraft in 10th. Ben Rinaldi with the unfortunate pit road injury accident, 11th. Frankie Samato, 12th. Jerry Hinkle, 13th. John Peterson, 14th. Eric Smith is on pit road, being listed in 15th right now. John Cross, 16th, is the last car running in the field right now. And you can see Jesse Racimus has caught Joe DePino. He has wasted almost no time trying to catch down Joe DePino. But the thing is, can these guys make it racing hard again? Tires, right side tires are the issue. And you can see him racing off of turn 4. Jesse Racimus is right behind Joe DePino. This is going to be an interesting race to the end for sure between these two guys. Go on board with Jesse. Taking the outside lane. Joe DePino hugging that inside lane. He pulled away from him a little bit in that one corner. The gap now that lap, 2.207. Joe DePino up the track a little bit. Jesse on the inside gains a little bit of time as they try to work around the lap car of John Peterson. Jesse drives it deep going into turn 3. And Jesse coming into pit road. Apparently he could not make it. Jesse Racimus is on pit road pitting from the 2nd position. Now it is up to Joe DePino. He has got a 1.7 second lead on Ernie D'Alfonso. That car is beat up and looks worse for wear, but he is getting it done right now. He is in 2nd spot. Kevin Kelly Jr. in 3rd. Dwayne Hall 4th as they navigate the lap car of John Cross. He is enlisted in 4th. Ben Britton is in 5th. Chris Melton and Jeremy Enix racing hard here for the 6th position. Look at these guys race real hard going into turn 3. They got to navigate around John Cross. John Cross is getting on the pit road, and John Cross spins out once again going into pit road. That pit entry is tough, and it has bitten John Cross a couple of times tonight. Another unfortunate break for him. Unfortunate. We will resume our through the field here. Chris Melton in 5th. He's held off Jeremy to this point. Ron Caranci has joined that fray. He is in 7th, and he is looking to move his way back through the field. Ben Rinaldi being shown in 8th right now. Norman Kraft 9th, and Frankie Samato rounding out the top 10 with a good little battle here with him and Jerry Hinkle and the lap car. John Peterson showing 12th. Ernie D'Alfonso has pit. He is now down to 13th. Jesse Racimus contact with Frankie Samato down the backstretch. Jesse came out of pit road, and he is looking to march his way through the field. There he goes. He is trying to get around every car. He is trying to do that thing that they the thing they do in football, where they kind of just run and slap the guy's back and try to get past him. It's all he's doing right now. Eric Smith in 15th and John Cross, unfortunately, in 16th, showing 2 laps down to the rest of the field. Dwayne Hall has inherited the lead due to, Joe DePino is now on pit road. Looks like he's leaving his box. Joe DePino could not make it on that last set of tires. Unfortunate break for him. But now the leader, Dwayne Hall. These guys have both moved around the number 3 of Kevin Kelly Jr. Dwayne Hall in the lead. Ben Britton in second. And we have just 4 laps to go. Can Dwayne Hall, Ben Britton, or even Kevin Kelly Jr. try to make it? Here comes Chris Melton, and oh, Ron Carancy's around in turn 4. The caution is out. And John Cross, trying to avoid, slides to a stop. This is going to change the whole complexion of this race. Dwayne Hall and Ben Britton, possibly Kevin Kelly Jr. as well, banging on the steering wheel, saying, why did that caution have to come out? Tough break for those guys. Dwayne Hall with the lead. There goes Ernie D'Alfonso. He is taking his lucky dog free pass. Let's take a look here and see what happens to Ron Carancy. You see they're racing tight here. This is technically the first pack. You see Dwayne Hall in front. Ron Carancy trying to get inside of Jeremy. Drives in, looks like a little too deep. Tried to get to the inside of him, and Jeremy just happened to be occupying that second lane. He bounced off of the door of Jeremy Enix, which was enough to upset that car and spin it around. Tough break for Ron Carancy, who is looking for another great finish to follow up his big win last week in Indianapolis. Tough break. And this changes the complexion of this race. You see him get back into the wall pretty hard. And there's John Cross once again sliding at the entrance of pit road. What are the crew chiefs calling for right now? Who's going to pit? Who's going to stay out? Dwayne Hall fakes, and he stays out on the track. And everybody else behind him pits. Oh boy. This is going to be interesting, to say the least. Kevin Kelly Jr., Jeremy, Beebe, Frank Samato, Norman Kraft, Ben Rinaldi, Chris Mellon, everybody behind Dwayne Hall decided to pit except for, Ernie D'Alfonso showing in second right now. He got the lucky dog, and he is showing in second. He is staying out right now. Kevin Kelly Jr., the first off of pit road. Ben Britton, 4th. Jeremy listed 5th. Chris Melton, 6th. Ben Rinaldi, 7th. Frankie Samano, 8th. Jerry Hinkle in 9th. Ron Carancy rounding out your top 10. The complexion of this race has just changed in the biggest way with that last caution. Jesse Racimus unfortunately stuck 1 lap down. He did not get the free pass or the wave around. That went to Ernie D'Alfonso. If Dwayne Hall stays out, Jesse will not be able to get the wave around here on the 1 to go. So he is going to be stuck 1 lap down. Unfortunate break for Jesse. Oh, real unfortunate. See the couple of lap cars here in front. Jesse coming into pit road. Joe DePino, who had the lead up until about 6 laps left in this race, stuck a lap down coming into pit road. Ernie D'Alfonso, the lucky dog, he starts in second. He and Kevin Kelly Jr. both, as we get the 1 to go, And it looks like this is going to be the one and only green-white checker finish of this race. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your hats. Ernie D'Alfonso unfortunately having to drop to the back since he was the lucky dog recipient. That's going to be a tough break, unfortunately, because he was listed in second. Dwayne Hall on the inside. He is the only car that did not pit. Kevin Kelly Jr. on the outside. He is looking to somehow squeak this one with the damaged race car that he has. It's about to get wild. You've got Ben Britton in third, Jeremy Enix in fourth. We're getting ready for the one and only green-white checker in this race. And the green flag is out. We're in overtime here at Iowa. Ben Britton looking. Jeremy trying to squeeze the hole. Oh, caution's out. Caution's in the back. And Dwayne Hall is going to eke this one out, it looks as though, because that was the one and only green-white checker attempt. Jeremy tried to squeeze it 3 wide. Going into turn 1, we're going to, and that is it. That is it. That's the word from the race officials is that is the final go-around. Dwayne Hall in front. You can see these front four have not separated from each other. All of these guys are saying, why can't we have one more? Come on, one more restart, one more restart. Dwayne Hall saying, I'm fine where I'm at. I like it. Coming off of turn 4. And the checkered flag is out. There it is. Dwayne Hall, the winner tonight here at Iowa Speedway. Big congratulations to Dwayne Hall on the gutsy pit call and the well-timed caution. He was able to stay out in front just before the caution, right at the entrance of turn 1. Dwayne Hall, your big winner tonight. Kevin Kelly Jr. with a wrecked race car, absolutely destroyed. He manages to bring it home in second spot. Ben Britton in third. Jeremy Enix in fourth. Chris Melton has already parked his car. He finishes fifth. Ben Rinaldi in sixth. Frankie Samato comes home seventh. Jerry Hinkle in eighth. Ron Caranci, unfortunate break for him late in the race. He finishes ninth. Norman Kraft will round out your top 10. Ernie D'Alfonso, another guy who's just about in every wreck tonight. He is in 11th. Joe DePino, who had, man, he was leading this race up until about 6 laps to go, relegated to a 12th place finish, not even on the lead lap. John Peterson, 13th. Eric Smith in 14th. Jesse Racimus comes home 15th after having probably one of the best cars this whole race. He, Jeremy as well. Unfortunate break for those guys, but Dwayne Hall, your big winner tonight. Now, we're going to recap and see what happened here, which brought out the caution for the ending of this race. See what we can find here. We're going to have to rewind a little bit. We decided to keep rolling with the final finishing order here. Rewinding as fast as we can here to see what happened. It definitely seemed to happen in the back of the pack because even though these guys were racing hard, nobody wrecked up front. So let's try to rewind here to see what happened here in the back of the pack, which brought out the final caution of this race. Oh, Eric Smith ran to the back of Jesse. I don't know what that was all about. Don't know what that was all about. He ran to the back of Jesse, and my goodness, Jesse spun out, and Eric, and everybody else is going. Everybody else is green. Leaders are racing off to turn 1. And Eric, unfortunately, was just barely able to get that car rolling. But unfortunately, It just couldn't get out of the way in time, unfortunately. So that was the reason for the caution. Kind of a bummer to have the caution come out from the guys in the back of the pack. I know that Jesse was one of the fastest cars all night, but we'll have to double check with Eric Smith to see what happened there. He just kind of ran to the back a little, but don't know if there was maybe some bad blood or whatever the case was. But I mean, that was the reason for your caution. And these guys, once again, these guys up front barely got a chance to race it out for the win. You see on the replay here, the green flag drops right there. And the leaders are racing. Jeremy looks to fill the hole. And the caution comes out right there. So even though these guys, Jeremy, I know for sure, was looking to fill that hole and try to get around both Beebe and Kelly Jr. at the same time, couldn't get there in time. That caution flew, and when the caution flies, the field freezes at that moment, and the race is deemed official at that point. So again, a big congratulations to Dwayne Hall, who is the winner. Everybody, don't go away. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with some of your highest finishing drivers of tonight's USCRL Xfinity Series race live from Iowa Speedway. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Well, that was interesting. Alrighty, everybody. Welcome back to tonight's USCRL Xfinity Series race live from Iowa Speedway. Dale Reynolds in the booth, and I have run down to the garage area, and I have caught up with tonight's, excuse me here, if I can get my stuff correct. There we go. 12th place finisher, Joe DePino. And Joe, what a tough break there. You had the lead with about 6 laps to go. It looked like when you pit there on the last go-around, you might have been able to make it on tires. Was there any concern that you wouldn't be able to make it when you did make that stop? It was a tough break for you indeed, and definitely not something that was, per se out of the ordinary. I mean, Joe, you definitely had a good car all night, running up in the top 5 for the most part, and just an unfortunate break there. Talk about the tire situation tonight, Joe. Did a lot of tire people having tire issues tonight? Did you have run into any issues? And 10-4 on that, Joe. Let me tell you, we had everybody here in the booth all excited because Joe DePino was in the lead, and unfortunate finish for you tonight with the, with the cautions coming out the way that they did, because we had everybody up on their feet here with about 6 laps to go. Just a tough break at the end of the race there, Joe. Is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to? Oh, we appreciate it, Joe. Thank you very much. Joe DePino had a great car tonight. Unfortunately, relegated to a 12th place finish. And now we're just going to go right across the garage here. Yeah. Yes. Okay. All right, hold on. No, he was not whispering. Alrighty. All right, jumping across the garage here quick. We'll get back to Joe DePino there in just one moment. Sorry about the technical issues there, guys. Getting around to Ernie D'Alfonso, who unfortunately who had a real interesting event tonight. Ernie, if you get a moment to compose yourself here, talk us through your night.
Hey, just as usual, just trying to run the best race I can run, and I think like DePino was saying that I also ran the tires a little bit too hard. I think for the track, I realized once my guys were calling me to come in, and everybody else was staying out there for several laps. So I was just trying to play the catch up strategy from that point on, and I actually blew a front right tire just as I was crossing like the speed limit start line going into pit road twice tonight on green flag stop. So that's how far I was pushing it.
Yeah, it definitely looked like you were pushing it before. We saw early on in the race, you and Steve Dale had a kind of an interesting battle there on the track. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, usually I really do try to be a clean driver, and then I'm not going to lie, the guy's gotten under my skin, and he definitely has some nasty things coming back to him, some karma. And I'm just simply, I'll put it, I'm not careful around the guy. Like I'm usually very careful around people. I make mistakes once in a while too, but I'm just not going to be careful around him anymore. And he got angry at one point, but truthfully, there was an accident that happened in front of us, and a car just like came flying up the track. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Then nothing I did to end his night there. So.
Yeah, unfortunate break for you, Ernie. Again, we saw that you were involved in about three different incidents. The one time with Steve, and then the other time with Kelly Jr. Definitely a frustrating night coming home 11th, even though it looked like you had a pretty stout car, at least for the most part before the incidents. Ernie, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Definitely all the admins that keep the league running, and you, Dale. I always forget to thank you for sacrificing, your race that you probably would have done very well at a track like this, tonight. So thank you very much, and congrats to Dwayne for the win.
10-4 on that. Thank you again, Ernie. Once again, Ernie D'Afonso relegated to an 11th place finish tonight. And we're going to run across the garage here one more time here. We're catching up with Kevin Kelly Jr. Kelly Jr., what an interesting race to say the least. We're looking at your car right now, and it looks like it belongs in a junkyard there, Kelly Jr. Fortunate wreck early on in the race, clipping the apron and having the car spin out, and then getting hard contact with Steve Dale. Talk us through your night, at least up to that point.
Yeah, the car started out pretty good. We're running that high side. Nobody else is really running. I think we were really doing good in our tire wear. And yeah, just I got a little bit too low in middle of one and two, and the car just hooked around. I couldn't control it, and we got hit by a couple people not really paying attention what they were doing coming out of two.
10-4 on that, Junior. Talk about how the car drove afterwards. I mean, it was definitely a hard lick there that looks like, I believe it was Steve Dale ran into the driver's side there, and Ernie just barely kissed the front end of that car as well. Um, any major damage to the suspension of that car? I mean, I know you must have been driving your heart out trying to get back up through the pack.
Suspension-wise, it was pretty okay, but it was about as aerodynamic as a brick, so it wasn't that great on straightaways, but we could still get up to about fifth, fourth, and third around there. But I knew we wouldn't have anything for Jeremy and Jesse up there, so we ended up pulling out some tire strategy at the end that almost worked out for us until the caution came out.
Gotta say also once again, Junior, I know look you were probably playing that pit strategy as well as anybody else was out there. You were running about 10th, 11th, 12th there before the whole the cautions came out there. Any did you have anything possibly for Dwayne on on that last restart before the untimely caution? Do you think?
I think I definitely could have gone around him out of two and maybe even three and four, but it would have been hard for me to hold off Jeremy. But I think I could have gone around Dwayne because he had way old tires.
10-4 on that, Kelly Jr. Kelly Jr. second place finish tonight. Is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
All the admins for running these leagues, Dwayne for his win, uh, my dad, everybody back at EPR, and we'll get him at Watkins Glen.
10-4 on that. Kevin Kelly Jr. overcomes a little bit of adversity and a big wreck to finish second tonight here in the USCRL Xfinity Series race live from Iowa. And running across here to the big winner tonight, Dwayne Hall in that number 55 Wrangler Chevy Camaro. Dwayne, definitely not a surprise. You were a top 5 car all night, but it looks like you played a little bit of the pit strategy there. Talk us through your night.
Actually, I didn't. There was no strategy. The strategy was to get 25, 27 laps on a run and just don't burn the stuff up. That's all that I did. And the next thing you know, I'm in the catbird seat.
Yeah, 10-4 on that, Dwayne, for sure. A lot of these guys playing the pit strategy and stopping early, maybe trying to get in a little bit early where the fuel, when the tire window opened up there at the end of the race. But talk about your feelings there, as you were getting towards the end of the race before the caution that reset the field there.
I was in good shape. I mean, BB was back there trying to contend, but I had it. When the caution came out, I was like, oh boy, I'm going to be in trouble here. Because no matter what I do pit road strategy wise, the guys behind me are going to do totally the opposite.
Yeah, we were talking about that on the broadcast there. We had noticed that you had stayed out, but almost every other car behind you decided to come in and take 4 tires. Dwayne, did you feel like that you could have possibly maybe held off the guys behind you that were on fresher tires?
No, I was pretty sure I couldn't get through 1 and 2.
10-4 on that. Dwayne, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to on your big win tonight?
Yeah, the admins for putting it together. Whoever made the setup, Ben or Jeremy, whoever it was, the setup ran great. The track ran good. All the admin guys for all the work, the new car models, the new physics, the new sounds. We got late models coming out next week. Everything's rolling good.
10-4 definitely sounds like exciting stuff here from the American Stock Car Simulator and Race Sim Nation. Dwayne Hall, your big winner tonight here, the USCRL Xfinity Series race live from Iowa. And we're going to catch back up here. We had some audio difficulties there when we were interviewing him, but we're going to do it once again. Catching up here with Joe DePino, who finished 12th here tonight. And Joe, I know we already talked about this before, but had a great car all night and had the lead with about 6 laps to go. Unfortunately, had to pit there for tires. Joe, walk us through your night up to that point.
Well, like some of the other fellas said, particularly Dwayne Jr. and Ernie, they managed their tires much better than I did. The 34 was excellent, but we probably overdrove it, having a little bit of fun with Dwayne there, the eventual winner, and certainly with Junior. So probably just driving the car a little bit too hard, but otherwise it was a very good night.
Yes, Joe, and we saw the battle with Dwayne there. That definitely got a little bit interesting. Maybe a little bit of, you think maybe just a little bit of admin pride there, trying to outrace another good friend?
Something like that.
Yeah. 10-4 on that, Joe. Let me tell you, we had some people here in the booth that were cheering you on because you had the lead there. Jesse, unfortunately, had to pit. It looks like you pit with about 33-ish laps to go. We thought you might have been able to make it on that last stop there. Unfortunately, could not make it. Talk us through the feelings that you had there, not being able to go to the end and having to pit from the lead.
Well, I actually knew I got in a little bit of trouble when Junior let me pass him for the point. And I realized at that point that I was probably driving too hard and not managing my tires correctly. So it was kind of a sinking feeling where I was like, well, I've already committed, so I may as well keep going and hope for a yellow, or maybe get lucky and make it all the way to the end, but it just wasn't going to happen. I exceeded my crew chief's advice for 3 laps. Actually, very lucky I didn't lose a tire and smash into the wall and ruin the race.
10-4 on that, Joe. A fortunate break for him. Coming home in 12th place, 1 lap down, just 1 spot behind Ernie D'Alfonso there after running in the top 5. Joe, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, everybody at RSN, all the admins, Ben Rinaldi in particular for tonight, Jeremy Dwayne, the rest of the gang, they do a heck of a lot of work. Thank everybody on the 34 team. Congratulate Dwayne on his win, and also thank you, Dale, for staying out of the car and making the broadcast happen.
Oh, it's not a problem, Joe. Again, we thank you very much. And unfortunately, guys, that's going to be it for tonight. What a wild and wacky race it was here from Iowa Speedway. Jeremy and Jesse dominant early, but with the late string of cautions and a little bit of pit strategy, Dwayne Hall walks away with the big win tonight, the USCRL Xfinity Series race live from Iowa Speedway. That's going to wrap it up for tonight. My name is Dale Reynolds. We hope you enjoyed this broadcast. Hey, be sure to tune in next week. You don't want to miss it because it was wild tonight. You can only imagine what it's going to be like next week. So thank you for watching, and we hope you guys have a great week. And until then, we'll see you next time.